Bonjour, voici vidéo 14D sur les pronoms indéfinis. This is another lesson that we'll need to back up a little bit and look at the indefinite adjectives. So back up to chapter 13 à la page 203. 203, chapitre 13, les adjectifs indéfinis. We saw these about a week or so ago, and the indefinite part means that it's not specific what we're talking about, but these are adjectives, so they needed a noun to accompany them. So they were même, autre, chaque, certain, plusieurs, and quelque. And if you look at the sentences next to these lists of adjectives, you'll see that in each case, the adjective accompanies a noun. J'ai acheté le même journal hier. I bought the same paper yesterday. Même journal. Je désire un autre disque. I want another disc or CD. Un autre disque. Les autres garçons sont mes cousins. Les autres garçons. The other boys are my cousins. So we see in each case these adjectives are accompanying nouns, again, which is why they're called adjectives. Adjectives accompany nouns, and they also agree in number and gender with the noun that they're accompanying, right? So we see indefinite adjectives, they need a noun. They need a noun. But very oftentimes, we can use these same indefinite words or close forms of these words to stand alone and not be paired with a noun. And so if you flip over to the page for today, 219, 219, this is when we want to say, usually in English we say one. So we had les mêmes, the back over here we had le même journal, the same newspaper. And you can just say le même. I saw the same one. Or for example, if you talk about un autre disque, another disc or another CD, then I want to buy un autre aussi. I want to buy one too, another one. So in English we'll say another one. They'll stand alone, but they'll also add that little one on there in English to make it make more sense. Okay, or we might want to say elle a acheté un certain livre. She bought a certain book. And then we'll say j'ai acheté un certain aussi. A certain one also. Okay, so flipping back over to page 219, let's go through the list. Actually, on page 220, here's our list of pronouns and how they basically correspond to the adjective if they have a different form. Sometimes the form will be the same. Like même, it's the same form in both a pronoun and an adjective. So, if you have the adjective un or autre, the pronoun is going to be l'un or l'une et l'autre, and that would be both. From chaque, we get chacun, or feminine chacune, each one. From the adjective quelque, we could get quelqu'un, or quelques-uns, or quelques-unes, if it's plural, or plural and feminine. We could also get quelque chose from that as well. Okay? So in each case, we might change the form of the adjective a little bit, but we're still going to be using that same adjective. We're going to look at it as an adjective, but we're going to be using it then as a pronoun that can stand alone. Let's do an exercise, and I think that'll be a little more clear what I'm talking about. Que de différence. Remplacez les mots en italique par un pronom indéfini. Modèle. Chaque élève est différent. So we have each student is different. We need to find the pronoun that can stand alone and still express the idea of each. And that's, in this case, it is chacun. And so we will have, this is the modèle. So chacun est différent. It stands alone. We can drop the élève. Okay, let's try number one. Quelques élèves aiment apprendre. Some students like to learn. So we want to say some like to learn, or some, yeah, that would be the best thing. So we have a plural here, right? So we look up at our chart, and if we want plural and we don't know if they're masculine or feminine, it's a mixed group, we want quelques-uns. We're going to use the masculine. Quelques-uns aiment apprendre. Some like to study. Numéro 2. D'autres élèves sont négligents et paresseux. Other students are negligent and lazy. So we want some others are negligent and lazy, right? So we look back, we see that d'autres does not have a second form for the pronoun, so we use the same form, and we get d'autres sont négligents. Oh boy, my pen's D-A-U, sorry. D'autres sont, and then we had our adjectives, négligent et paresseux, right? D'autres, gonna just drop off the noun there. 3. Plusieurs élèves reçoivent toujours de bonnes notes. That is, plusieurs is not on our list of a change in the pronoun from the adjective, so we can just use plusieurs without the noun, just like we did above here. Plusieurs, and I noticed on everybody's workbooks that a lot of people were leaving out that U in plusieurs. Don't forget that. Plusieurs, what was it? Reçoivent. C'est dit, and the rest of the sentence is the same. Okay, so several receive. 4. Certains élèves sont insolents. So certain students are insolent, and we want to just say certain ones are insolent, right? So we're going to go with certains sont insolents. Okay? Certains sont insolents. Certain ones are. 5. Chaque élève a un cours biblique. Each student has a Bible course. So we want to say each one has a Bible course. Chaque is one that has a secondary form for the pronoun, and that is chacun or chacune if it's feminine. From looking at the sentence, we know that, excuse me, well, if you know that élève is masculine, you know that chacun is going to be the form that you're going to want to choose here, right? Chacun a, and then the rest is the same. Un cours biblique, each one. Et la dernière, les mêmes élèves apportent toujours leur Bible en classe. The same students bring their Bibles all the time to class. So we want to drop off the students, so we can say the same ones apportent toujours leur Bible. Même does not have an alternate form, so we're just going to use les mêmes. Les mêmes apportent. It's plural, so we need to have the S on même, and then we need to have the S on les. Okay? So that's going from the indefinite adjective to the indefinite pronoun. A couple of them have a little bit of a different form, but for the most part, you can use them just like this, without a noun, to describe the ideas that we just talked about. Alright, that concludes this video. Au revoir.